What's going on, guys? Ethereum is looking likely to make a huge move. In a moment, we're going to get into the charts. I'm going to show you exactly the key support levels that I'm looking at that are currently in danger. And this is very relevant for the whole of Tuesday leading into Wednesday. So depending on when you're watching this, this is a crucial update. So be prepared right now, guys. There is going to be a big move. And of course, not just for Ethereum. I'm going to show you, we're going to get into the chart. I'm also looking at some key charts here, which include the Bitcoin price. We're going to go over. We're going to look at the S&P 500 and the 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕, the dollar. We're going to look at the altcoins as well, guys, and we're going to look at some very interesting news as well, guys. So if everybody can start things off by, of course, obliterating that like button, guys. We need to get over 250 likes on these videos. When we do that, the YouTube gods, the YouTube algorithms bless us with great algorithmic beauty. Anyway, enough of that said, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that bell. You will not miss a future video that way, guys. So let's talk about Ethereum first of all, and then we're going to make our way through the other subjects of this video, which are equally, of course, very, very important. So kicking things off, Ethereum, I think it's best we start just a little bit of time on the larger time frame here. We'll talk about where we've been, where we've come from. I'm not going to spend too long on the longer term picture because most of you that watch my channel know where we stand with that from my perspective. And of course, if you don't subscribe, follow, watch my channel, you've probably seen other YouTubers talk about sort of the bear market trend that we're in. One interesting pattern that you could say in terms of the major trend lines is we are still trading into resistance. It's pretty evident to see that we are facing this pretty strong previous support level, which was $1,700, and we're trading into that right now. In terms of resistance. So, you know, it's a hard level to beat, guys, to break above that $1,700. And you can see that we do have very much kind of a parallel channel that's formed here. So what we could do actually, let's bring this in just to show you and draw that on the screen. You could see that the top goes up to about $2,000 as the kind of swing high, and you can take it down to the swing low, and we're in this trading range, this big trading range. Support is down at the previous low, $867, and the ultimate high is 2,000. We've been trading in that level for about 10 months, and about 9 months, should I say, and it's been relatively sideways in terms of the bigger picture. Of course, in the smaller time frames, we've had a lovely rally over the last month or so. It's been pretty nice. We did go as high as 43%. We're down a little bit, and we're testing some key support, which we're going to be looking at in a minute to see what the price is looking like, where the price is, of course, likely to go. So just a bit more on the Ethereum bigger time frame here. That was the major trend lines. The other thing you can look at, in addition to these bigger parallel channels, is the long time frame key channel that we're trading in. So this is obviously the bear market channel. You could say we've been trending downwards since November of 2021. So what's that, 14 months or so in the making of bear market. In terms of percentage, we did come down as much as 82%, and it's worth mentioning that it's nowhere near as much as the 96% we've seen in the previous two bear markets for the Ethereum price. And right now, trading, we haven't managed to break out of this range yet. So although we've been rallying, still very much a bear market. We're still creating these lower highs, lower lows, and we could be on our way down for the next leg. Let me know in the chat, guys, in the comments. Do you think the bottom is in for Ethereum or not? I'd be really interested to know what you guys think. Obviously, you know where I think. Long term, of course, no surprise that I am a believer. Unfortunately, guys, these shirts are not on sale. This is an exclusive. You can't have it. Well, if someone's nice enough, maybe I'd send it to someone, but probably not. This is a very special jumper. This is my belief jumper, and there's something on the back as well. So what we're seeing right now for the Ethereum price, you ask. Let's talk about the smaller time frames. Let's go into it and talk about these smaller levels. Just before I do that, guys, I will make a very quick mention. We have the Marzell exclusive trading competition. If you're a trader, guys, and you haven't yet joined us in this competition, you should. It's free to join. We have great prizes up for grabs. We have the brand new iPhone 14 Pro Max. We have the brand new smart Apple Watch, the Ultra one. It's like an $800 watch. The new iPad, AirPods, and some USDT. We actually only need one more participant to get to the next prize level. So join us. Link is in the chat, the pinned comment. You'll see it, or in the video description down below. So check that out. Right, let's talk about the smaller time frames for Ethereum. Let's go into the daily chart. We'll get rid of these levels here. I do want to talk about how we've currently been trading as of late. You can see that this consolidation that we've been chopping sideways in, it is part of a bigger triangulation. You could go swing low, swing high, back to the low, and you do have something. I mean, this actually could even be extrapolated to, you could say here. Anyway, we're in this triangulation. This is a consolidation period, and you can see we're right at the top of that range, trading into that resistance. That's not the only level of resistance. There is other key resistance as well to talk about, and we're going to look at that together, because that, as traders, guys, that's really what you want. You want to look at confluence. You don't just want to take one thing. We also have the following to work with. So let's take a look at these together. These monthly levels that you may be able to see on the screen, I don't know if they're quite dark blue enough. You can see that there was a lot of resistance at like the level I mentioned, $1,700, and we're now potentially at this point seeing some support of this monthly level. Monthly levels have the most significance, but they're not so precise, if that makes sense. It's a long time range, a month, so very important key levels, but they're not necessarily the best indicators for the smaller time frames. I hope that makes sense. So these are the monthly levels, and if you look at the weekly levels, it's a slightly different story. We're just trading through one at the moment, so we're basically deciding where we're going. So we know where we are on the long term, we know where we are on the mid term. We need to look at the smaller time frames really to see what's likely to happen. Now, of course, guys, the fundamentals are absolutely crucial in what's going on right now. So we will be looking at the fundamentals. Of course, we have the Fed meeting coming up on Wednesday, on the 1st of February. Big news. And you're looking tastefully perhaps at this bull flag that I'm drawing on my screen in front of you. But yeah, just before we continue with the technicals for Ethereum and my bullish outlook in the short term, spoiler alert, let's quickly look at the news in terms of the financial markets right now. So the markets have been selling off today, like the Dow Jones, the FTSE, the S&P 500, and basically, what the fear is that the rate hike, the interest rate decision that we're going to see on Wednesday may not be the 25 basis points that we would hope. It could potentially be 50 basis points, which would be terrible for markets. It really would send markets into a frenzy if that did happen. So what we're waiting on is some very big names that have their earnings reports later in the week, the likes of Facebook, Google, we have Ford, we have Amazon as well. I think, yeah, Amazon as well. So some very big names with earnings reports coming out. So yeah, it's a very interesting time. If we obviously get 25 basis points, markets will act accordingly. This huge rally we've had over the last month has made the sentiment a lot more bullish. And yeah, we're back into the greed territory, believe it or not. So make what you will of that. But yeah, things are looking on the up again. Things are looking bullish. You can see, by the way, guys, if you're not following me on Twitter, make sure you are at Marzell Trading. I'm giving away 1 Ethereum tomorrow. Someone that goes onto my Twitter and likes this, quote retweets it, and joins our free Telegram, links in that tweet as well, will be giving 1 whole Ethereum to a lucky winner. So make sure you check that out. Right. Beyond what we talked about with Ethereum on the medium and long term, let's talk about the short term. we have a bull flag. We also have this support. This support must hold. If the support breaks down, it's going to get a little bit worrying because the levels that we have to contest with. Let's look at the bear case scenario first, and let's look where we might actually trade down to. So what we can see in terms of support is we do have a lot of traded volume between the area of $1,250 up to about $1,360. We also have $1,450 as a significant support level. So if we do treat this as a local top, what you want to do, you want to use a Fibonacci retracement tool. You want to go from the previous swing low, which is somewhere up here, to the high, and these are going to give you some key levels. You can see that our 0.382 is coming in at 1450. Then we have a support at 1380. And then we have the golden pocket, which is the ultimate support in a downward move. Now, of course, the bullish scenario is a little bit different. And by the way, guys, links down below, video description. My recommended trading platforms are Bybit, BitGet, huge bonuses on both. And basically, it doesn't really matter which one you use. Sign up for both even if you want to, and you can take advantage of both offers. The catch is, if you like, from the trading platforms, you have to sign up. Takes about 1 minute to sign up, super easy, but you do need to make your first deposit and your first trade. Deposit at least $250. Visit the rewards hub, and then you can start claiming those bonuses. You can get up to 30,000 on Bybit, but you will not just get $30,000 in your account for signing up. You need to make certain deposits in order to get the bonus. The terms are all in the rewards hub, so there's a bonus to meet every budget. Even if you deposit $100, there's a bonus to be had, but it won't be 30,000. You do need to deposit quite a bit. But nonetheless, they're great trading platforms. You can do copy trading on them. You can get crypto loans on them, and it is a safe, reliable platform. Both of them, but particularly Bybit. That's my mainly recommended platform. So anyway, let's look at this bull flag that's currently forming. This, to me, is very, very nice indeed. We're seeing this bull flag forming right now, and I'm quite bullish to see not only this form, but we are, if you look at our moving averages, for example, if you look at the 200-day moving average for the Ethereum price, we are trading above that. It's nice to see. Not only are we trading above that on the 200-day, if you look at the 200-week moving average heat map, Bitcoin, we're below it. Ethereum, we are above it. This is a strong buy area, okay? So make of that what you will, but to me, this looks incredibly bullish. I don't want the RSI in the chart for now. Let's look at this bull flag price target. So let's check this out together. Let's talk about this bull flag price target, because this is the trade that I'm eyeing up. But I am waiting to see some volume come into this. We're not quite seeing the volume we need yet. And of course, we want to see that breakout before you make a trade. So this is what we're currently seeing. If we get a breakout, we are approximately looking at targeting upwards of $2,000. Now, it does say 2100, but make no bones about it, guys. There is a lot of resistance before we get to that level. What you may want to do from not the daily levels, but from the, was it the weekly levels? Yeah, there's a weekly level, and I do explain this on my channel for anyone that doesn't know. A key price level, whether it's a weekly, monthly, daily, it's basically where you have a green and red candle body meet. That's going to be resistance when it's green and red. If it's red and green, it's support. And there is a weekly level that does basically get to about $1,950. We could, if you remember the parallel channel I showed you earlier as well, which one was it? It was this one. You can see that there's also resistance at that level. So my target, my first take profit is at around 1920, and then I'll be taking my final profits at about $2,000. Of course, that's going to be a really key psychological level as well. You have to be very careful with regard to where we're trading, because ultimately, going back to it, if you look at the major trend lines, sorry, not the major trend lines, these long time frame charts, it would mean breaking out of this level. If we do break out of this resistance, it doesn't guarantee us back into bull market territory. Really, we do need to start then talking about 2200, 2500 before we can really, you know, step on the gas and get things moving again. Anyway, let me know in the chat, guys. Let me know in the comments. Are you bullish for Ethereum? Are you bullish for Bitcoin right now? Let's move on to some other coins, because even if you're just like me, very into your Ethereum, you're going to want to know what's going on with Bitcoin, the financial market, and this is going to tee us up nicely for the rest of the week. Some big news coming out, and stay around, guys, because I'm going to be talking about this altcoin chart where we are looking likely to see a huge breakout in the not so distant future. I think it's going to be very ferocious. Can I say very ferocious? It's going to be a ferocious bull market rally in the next few days. I think we're going to see a huge breakout. Guys, if you're not subscribed, do subscribe. Have that bell turned on. Make sure you hit the like button as well. Let's get the likes up to 250. It really does help. Right, let's move on to this chart just before we talk about Bitcoin. This is the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. Now, this is very important. I've just realized you can't see my screen, so let me put my screen on. The reason why this chart is super duper important is because this prices Ethereum in Bitcoin, and you can see that over time this chart has been moving up more or less. We had huge spikes in the bull markets, but every market bottom, and you know, we're around a bear market bottom where we are trading now. Yes, we might come a bit closer to lower levels, but ultimately we've been like 2018, 2019, this was a bear market bottom. This was a bear market bottom, sort of this 2016, 2017 period. So it would have been a great time to buy Ethereum with Bitcoin. If you would have bought Ethereum with Bitcoin, it would have just cost you 0.01 of a Bitcoin to buy Ethereum. Now it costs 0.6 of a Bitcoin to buy one Ethereum. And in the near future, over the next few years, I'm expecting it to be upwards of a 15th, of a 20th of a Bitcoin to buy an Ethereum, to the point where eventually one day, perhaps it will cost a whole Bitcoin to buy a whole Ethereum. Let me know if you agree with that. Do you believe in the flippening, the famous flippening? Anyway, but from a technical perspective, you can see that we have this inverse head and shoulders pattern. When we eventually break this neckline, which is sort of a sideways slant, we are expecting a big breakout to happen where we could see a percentage increase of about 55-60% in Ethereum against Bitcoin. So make of that again what you will, but I'm looking at very bullish price action for Ethereum against Bitcoin in the months to come. So let's talk about the Bitcoin price. Okay, this was mainly an Ethereum video, but it's important that we look at Bitcoin and we look at the financial market, so the S&P 500 and the DXY, or the DXY. Do you call it DXY? Doesn't matter. It's the DXY, and this is an important chart because this is the strength of the dollar. When the dollar's pumping, it pretty much indicates that markets are going down. When the dollar is declining, like it has been for the last few months, the markets have been going up. And the reason why we had this huge bear market, well, not the reason, but a big contributing factor of the bear market we saw last year is look what the dollar did. The dollar went up 20%. It rallied and rallied and rallied. So yeah, dollar's been going down, but there is support now, and that could mean a pullback in the market. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about that as well. I think that's very important to mention. Now, what I want to talk about regarding Bitcoin, we will start on the weekly chart before we make our way into the smaller time frames. And then we're basically going to be looking at the other markets as well, which are really, really important. Now, what I'm seeing for the long-term Bitcoin chart here is the following. This is the log chart. Again, I am dyslexic, guys. I don't know if it's logarithmic. I just call it a log chart. You can see that we are very well supported and we are very much at the bottom. And in fact, if you go into the weekly chart here, you can see lately we've made it back up to this previous support line that is acting as resistance, you can see. So that's where we are in terms of the log chart. For anyone curious to know what it might look like in the next bull market, I mean, just to put things into perspective, this is a bit fun to do. You can see from the last bear market, bottom to the top, in terms of percentage, we saw 2,150%. Let's just say we did that again, just for fun, 2,150%. takes you somewhere up to $500,000. Let me know in the chat, guys. Let me know in the comments. Do you believe we can get to $500,000 in the next bull run? I'm not so sure. If you look at previous cycles, we haven't quite rallied at the same rate. But I believe 200,000 is definitely achievable. $200,000 is definitely within the realms of possibility, guys. So that's the log chart. Let's go into the weekly here, and we will look at another chart for Bitcoin, which is this 200-week moving average. You can see right now that we are not right now, sorry, but through the history of Bitcoin, we've traded above this level, this 200-week moving average, and we broke beneath it for the first time, really, in June of last year, and we've been trading under it and still trading under it, but we're very close to potentially passing it. Now, that's the 200-week. This is the 200-day moving average, which we've now crossed. So that's, of course, very bullish. We broke above 21,000, which is a very, very important level. And in terms of if we can break higher, well, we need to look at that together, really. We really need to have a look at how high we can go here. So what I want to talk about are these major trend levels. Let's get rid of the 200-day. Now, these are the major levels. It looks a bit messy for now, but what we're currently seeing is massive levels of support at 21,500, massive resistance at 25,000. There are levels in between that on the smaller timeframes we'll be looking at, but just so you know, on the kind of more mid to long-term range, these are the levels. And we could break all the way up to about 29K and still be within bear market territory, basically. So bear that in mind. Even if we rally up to 29,000, we're not out of the woods yet. Okay, so let's look at the smaller time frames. Let's go into the daily chart. We'll get rid of these. We'll look at these weekly levels. This is what we're currently seeing for the weekly chart. So we broke out of this W, or you could say it's not quite a cup and handle because we didn't create a handle, but it is a W, which is equally as bullish. What I would like to see is a retest. I want to see this weekly level 21,000 to 21,500 be retested, because when you just have these aggressive moves to the upside, it's normally followed by an aggressive move to the downside. You want to see some consolidation if you really want to see these higher prices. We were resisted at nearly 24,000. We made it up to about 23,950 and change. So we need to be cautious around that level. Monthly levels, you can see there's a monthly level actually at 23,250. So we didn't break it above that level. Let's look at the price range that we're currently in. So we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that monthly. And let's zoom out a bit further. And in terms of a range, we are looking like this. Okay, we'll just draw it like that. So we've got this level here. This level here was the lunar crash. So we've traded in that range. And if we break out of this area, so just to confirm, that resistance is 25.5. The support is down at the bottom. We created 15.5. So it's a big trading range. This is a trading range of 63%. You can see we've rallied a long way. But this could be extrapolated further, of course, to the next level, which takes you up to about 30,000. So ultimately, we can, like I said, we can make it up to that level and still be within a bear market territory. But the major resistance right now, like I said, is 25,000 for the Bitcoin price. So let's just look at the small time frames and look how we could be trading within the next 12, 24 hours this week. Obviously, bear in mind, huge volatility expected with the Fed meeting on the 12th, and huge earnings reports coming out from the likes of Google, Amazon, Facebook, etc. Very, very important to bear in mind, and the sentiment is of greed. So just be very, very cautious. Let's look at the small time frames. Then we're going to look at the slightly more macro picture. So on the 4-hour time frame here, let's do this together, and just let me remind you guys, for anyone that isn't trading or trades and isn't entirely happy with their platform, I recommend Bybit. Link in the video description, guys. There is up to $30,000 in bonuses. Really great trading platform. You can do copy trading on it, and there's a link in the comments in the chat. If you want guys, you can join our free exclusive trading competition. iPhone 14, iPad, Apple Watch, all up for grabs. We're one away from opening up the... Oh, someone did it in the stream. Fantastic. So we've unlocked the $2,800 prize, which means the iPhone's being unlocked, guys. Brilliant. There will be an iPhone giveaway. We've got 27 days, and it's done on P&L, so there's plenty of time to trade and win that competition. What I would appreciate, of course, is even if you have a Bybit account, do use the link in the video description. Copy it into incognito tab even, and sign up with a new email, because that way you'll get a bonus, a new bonus for sign up. I'll get a bonus, and I don't get paid from Bybit for making these videos, but I do earn commission when you trade. So everyone's a winner, and especially the top 5 in this competition, because the top 5 people are going to be winning these fantastic prizes: iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, AirPods, and it doesn't say here, but the 5th place is going to get USDT as well. USDT, about $250. So small time frames for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at this together and see where the support is, where the stops are, where we are, etc., etc. Because this is really important, guys. When I was talking about the Ethereum price about to make a big move, it's not just Ethereum. It's going to be Bitcoin. It's going to be the altcoins. And I'm going to show you what the altcoins are looking like. This chart for the altcoins I'm going to show you in a minute is very exciting. But quickly, let's do Bitcoin. Let's talk about these levels, because in terms of the support, we do have this support level that is still holding. We've had this move down today. Let me do it here. We had this move down in percentage of about 4-5%. In fact, on CoinMarketCap, they're calling it 4.5%. Ethereum's only down a bit further, 5.4%. So in terms of resistance, we still have this level, you could say, something like that, but probably more accurately to treat it as a broadening wedge now at this point, which ultimately is bearish, but there could be a huge move to the upside from this level. We are also trading in this more local range. Let me see if I did one earlier, parallel channel. Let's do it with you. Let's get it from here. This one, I believe it is. Even after using TradingView for the best part of 6 years, I still forget where the parallel channels are. But yeah, basically, guys, resistance, 24K now. That's what we're dealing with. And the support is here. The support is at 22,500. This is the trading range you need to know. Now, of course, this sets us up for a beautiful long. We're seeing support across the channel, both channels, the upward parallel broadening wedge and this channel here. And of course, you could treat this as a bull flag, either from here or even as part of a bigger move. Now, this is how I would set up for a fantastic risk to reward ratio trade, guys. This is what I would be looking at, guys. And it's what I talk about on the channel often. My subscribers know that, you know, when I make a trade, I always want to know that I'm getting the best risk to reward possible. And this trade setup gives us that. Even if we lose this trade, doesn't matter. We can set our stop losses under 22,500. We can target the top of the range as a minimum. That's just our take profit one. And this is giving us a 5.5 to 1 risk to reward ratio. What that means is if you lose this trade even 5 times, you're still ultimately going to make a profit over like 100 trades if you did the same setup. The profit here is 5.37%. Of course, if you're trading on Bybit or BitGet, if you had a 10x leverage trade, that 5.5% becomes 55%. 20x becomes 100, over 100%. But it's about managing risk to reward responsibly. Make sure your liquidation price is comfortably below your stop loss. Always trade with a stop loss. Very, very important. And this to me is looking like a good setup. If, of course, we break this support level, then if you're already in the long, that should be invalidated. You should take a small loss at that point. But then you can take a trade to the downside. And the trade to the downside here is the next channel that we're in. Of course, you could trade it. This is probably too big of a range. Let's talk about the more smaller range that we're in, which is as follows. And we can extrapolate that out just to make it a bit clearer. And you can see that the center line here is at $22,000. What you can also do is use the fib level, the fib tool here. If you go from the low to the high, you can see how these levels are respected. Look at the 0.382. We found support along that. So if that 0.382 level breaks, which was also the parallel channel that I was talking about just before, what you would expect is the next level to hit 0.5, which is $22,183. So that's going to be the next level of interest if this level breaks. But for now, this is a long opportunity, especially with the idea that we're probably going to see 25 basis points on Wednesday. We've got earnings coming out from some big tech giants that may or shouldn't be too affected by this ongoing recession that we're seeing. So, make of that what you will. Guys, by the way, just quickly before I go into the markets, I want to show you what I'm looking at with the dollar and the S&P 500, because if that rallies, Bitcoin's going to rally hard, Ethereum's going to rally hard, the altcoins will rally hard. I'm going to be talking about them. I just want to make a quick mention, and it is unfortunately just for you guys in the States, but this is so cool, guys. This is the best VPN you can use as a crypto enthusiast. It's not just a VPN. This is about protecting your identity online. Aura. Now, I have a link. It is a spot. They're not sponsoring me to make this video, but it is an affiliate link. I will earn a commission if you sign up for this. But if you are looking for protection online, if you want to protect yourself on a VPN and also from online theft, malware, Aura is literally the best place where you can do this. So link in the video description for a free 14-day free trial, and just for 3.5 more days you'll get 60% off. Anyway, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Just check them out yourself, link down below, and you can read all their reviews, etc. They're a very, very good platform. I haven't used them myself, but I've read through the reviews, and I'm very confident with the product that they have. Now, S&P 500 time, guys. This is the important one. The S&P 500 is the 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗕𝗬𝗓 of all, let's say, risk assets moving on, right? This is where we want to get our information of how the market is responding to stimulus or the lack of stimulus, basically. Now, what you can see, the interesting thing here is on this weekly chart, we've broken out of this year-long trend. You can see that resistance has broken to the upside, but I have spoiled the chart with this parallel channel. If you didn't have that channel, you would think, fantastic. Look, we're creating higher lows here, and we're creating some higher highs, not from this point yet. But the truth is, guys, we are still in this range. We're still in this range where the resistance is up at 4,100 and the support is down at 3,500. So that's a key level, key levels that we need to appreciate right now. We haven't seen a convincing breakout. If we bring some volume into this chart, you can see the volume is actually nothing too exciting. In fact, there's just no change in the volume. So this isn't a convincing breakout for me. I am expecting at least a retest of the $3,980 level that we broke out from. If not, we could come back into the range. And if we come back into this trading range, it's dangerous because the S&P 500 is on track to potentially create this W pattern. Yeah, we could come all the way back down to this level and then continue our way down. And that's going to be, Bitcoin $9,000, $8,000, Ethereum $250 to $500 level. It's going to be a completely different sentiment to where we're trading now. Could happen still could happen. This is the dollar. The dollar was rampant last year, rallied hard. That's why markets were declining. And since then, it's been a very different story because we have been on this decrease and markets have been rallying. The dollar is now actually breaking out potentially of this downward channel. It's been supported on a fib level. So obviously very dependent on what happens on the 1st of February with the Fed raising rates. It's 25 basis points. For me, this gets rejected, moves to the downside for another rally. S&P 500 rallies, if it's 50 basis points or higher, I mean, this is going to shoot to the ceiling for a strong dollar, and there's going to be a lot of risk off. Gold's been doing very well. For those of you that don't follow gold, gold's been on a rampant surge this year, and it's set to be the best performing asset of the year. Bitcoin, of course, digital gold. So make of that what you will. I think Bitcoin has almost separated on its own path anyway. Right. This is the total 3. This is the altcoin market cap, less Bitcoin and Ethereum. I just wanted to show you this quickly. In terms of resistance, we nearly broke out of it. We're in this downward channel, and ultimately we're either going to get a breakout if Bitcoin does rally. If we get bullish sentiment on February 1st, we're going to get a huge breakout, and altcoins will have a huge pump. Solana, Aptos, Polkadot, there's so many, guys. All the altcoins. Some of my favorites I can show you in my watch list if I'm logged in. I'm not logged in at the moment, but I'm liking XTP nowadays. XTP's a really cool one. And there's some great gaming tokens as well, like Gala, Me. You got to check these ones out. Very, very important altcoin tokens. So I'm going to end the show on that note. Be cautious for tomorrow, and particularly on Wednesday. Very important market data coming out. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. Guys, I'm also on Twitter. Check me out at Marzell Trading. And thanks for joining me. Feel free to check out any of my other videos before you go. Make sure you're subscribed. Smash the like button. And don't forget, links down below for Bybit and for BitGet, your huge trading bonuses. Thanks so much, guys. And I will see you all on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.